Alrighty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to. Hold on, really quick. Let me ask you guys this really quick. Let me. How many of you have listened to me previous to ForexAnalytix, previous to this company? How many of you guys have listened to me for, previous to that? I know you guys are raising hands. I'm sorry. Use your chat box, please. Chad, a few of you guys have. Lorraine, hey, awesome. Lorraine, we miss you, by the way. Ateem, hey, Ateem, how are you? Patrick, Catherine, Jason, a bunch of you guys are writing in now. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know. Guess what we're going to rebrand this this webinar as? It's the Morning Edge, baby. The Morning Edge is coming back now. You know, it's like we've sat here and we're like, okay, well, we're calling it Phase 2.0, and it's more of just, it's just more of a calling it, just something. But I want to make it more than that. And one of the things, and I think about like years in, yeah, Chad said patent pending, right? Patent pending, exactly. I remember for, all these years, what people enjoyed the most, well, not necessarily the most, but one of the comments that I always got, oh, I got to tell everybody else. I'm sorry, in the chat room. Hold on. Can you guys hear me type here?
Yes.
You can? Okay. It's this microphone that I use, Stelios, thanks. It's close, it's close to my mic, but the mic only picks up certain things. Like if it's within like maybe like 3 feet, if it's outside of 3 feet, it doesn't pick up the noise. It's really interesting. It's a high-end microphone. My wife, that was my birthday gift this last year, and I enjoy it. It's super awesome, but I don't know what it picks up and what it doesn't. So it's one of those weird things. Anyway, going back to the Morning Edge, one of the things that most people would say to me over time would be, Blake, I love it when you rant about whatever's on your mind, not just the technical analysis part, not just the, this is the bias chart and what we see here and what we're, what good levels are, but it's really like the rants of something that's on my mind that is really sticking out for the day or for the, for the session or, like near term. And I think those rants are very important, and I don't always get to express that. So the part of the Morning Edge is not only giving you that technical edge in trading, but also giving you like the rant, like, like for me today, it's the move in yields, guys. I mean, we've seen this move in yields the last couple of days. And I keep telling the guys and gals in the chat room, I'm like, we got to watch yields. We start getting up towards 1.5%, and it's going to actually turn, stocks on its lows or turn around rather quickly. And I know we've talked a little bit about it here, but the last couple of days, but we got this bull flag pattern that's developing, and you look at these yields and they can continue to rally further. And as we start breaking towards the 130, 140 levels in yields, the market is taking notice, and you can see how it's really weakening. And one of the byproducts is right now is weaker gold too. Gold is just broken down. And matter of fact, I'm going to write down this number really quick. If you look at gold, we're attacking the previous breakout point here. And man, if we break this level, you can see this is breakout point, support, that comes in right at 1765. We break that, it's going to get old. Or did I just say old? It will get sold. We're probably going to be trading down towards, like, I would say this channel support somewhere down here in the mid 1600s. Obviously, we're not there yet, but if you just think about, what we've got here, false breakout, 1765, AB equals CD. That's not what I wanted. You know, that seems very logical to me. All right, so now let's just talk intraday for gold, because gold might, you know, get a snapback rally. I think any rally back towards, let's just call it 1790. I know support here is 1785. I just want to give it a little bit past it, you know, just because I think this is going to be a whole area. So I'm going to write down 1790, and we're bearish. Now you notice that on the bias chart that we have added the silver market and Bitcoin. Okay. And Steve did that yesterday. So thanks again, Steve. And you know, I wish, you know, Stelius knew how to use Excel, but he's useless. So therefore.
Nice one. Nice one.
Okay. So, hey, Stel. Now, notice that the euro dollar is breaking lower. We broke the support. This is an inverted head and shoulder pattern that we've been watching. But you notice one thing. I'm gonna before you get too excited about being a dollar bull, because I honestly don't know how to trade the euro right now. I was short below 120, then, you know, ripped up to 120.50. I got out. Took a loss, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even know what to do here. Like, I don't even know how to trade it. You'll notice that it's below what people are probably looking as an inverted head and shoulder pattern, but I don't want to write off. I don't want to write off the potential bullishness of the euro. This could be a complex inverted head and shoulder pattern because the neckline might not be, you know, the neckline here, I don't believe is horizontal. So I don't want us to write off the euro just yet. It looks like, you know, obviously right at this moment in time, the dollar's strong. And you can see the dollar ripping against, you know, the Canadian, Norwegian krona, all sorts of things. So the dollar is really, you know, on fire. But we could find some support down here at the 120 level. And this is, remember, this is the 120, what was that, 120.10? Okay, so let's just take a real quick look here. Let me do that. Okay. So now resistance, I'm just going to write down resistance as being 121. I think anybody who's long at the moment intraday is going to be happy if we get to 121 again. Okay. Support though, let's just draw some fibs. Again, I'm not advocating you should run out and buy euros. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is we have to be a little careful. I'm not outright just bearish euros right now or bullish the dollar. The 618 retracement at 2035 is finding support. The 78% retracement is 119.95, 97. That's also 120. Let's just write down 120. I think 120 is going to be pretty important support today. Now, where we close today is going to be, I think, pretty important because, like, let's say, I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's say the euro dollar breaks lower. We're only 40 pips away from 120. So let's say the euro breaks down today. And not only does it break down, but we actually close right here at 120. So by the end of the day, that's where we're sitting. Like we drop to lows and then we just sit there. Now, at that point in time, based on, you know, the price action of the euro, I wouldn't want to be long. So it depends how we, you know, a lot of people like to look at price and they say, well, you know, gosh, if we go here, I'm bearish. And if we go here, I'm bullish. It's not as easy as that. I wish it was. It's how we get there, how quick we get there, what we do once we're there. You know what I mean? So, you know, if the euro drops down to 120 and we just sit, it's the end of the day, stocks are on their lows, euros at the lows and holding, I wouldn't want to be long. That would suggest to me we're probably going back down into the teens, you know, like 118, 117. But if we, if we get down to 120 today and we bounce and we close the day at 120.50, I would say we have an inverted head and shoulder pattern, and it's complex. So again, it's what happens, how we get there, what happens when we get there, that all matters. Okay. Pound. So this is going to be critical support. I could totally tell me you could totally see this, right? And this is one of the problems that the euro is going to have if this happens. Cable, you'll notice we've broken this uptrend line here. So I think that is going to cap us on rallies. So that's going to be, let's call it 139. I'm still bullish. Okay. Now, this is the problem the euro is going to have. Let's say the sterling drops to 137.55, which I think is support. Cracks through this low, stops out all the longs, right? Goes down to 137.50. If that happens, what happens to the euro? Right? Yeah, I mean, if that happens like this, what does the euro do? I mean, do we trade down to 119.50, 60? I think it's entirely possible. So that's why it's hard for me to sit here and go, oh, I want to buy the euro right now. I mean, I'm looking at the sterling and it looks like it's going to pull back further. I know we can get pound down euro steady, but it's typically not going to be the case. Hold on.
Don't worry, like I'm here, Steve's.
Yeah, just right back to him. Tell him no problem. Steve's on a personal phone call he's got to take, and no, it's. I mean, I'll be 10 minutes. That's fine. Aussie dollar. Okay, so here's the Aussie. Right, 38% retracement. We came out of an ascending wedge yesterday. False breakout. Holding the longer term resistance, so that's a lower high. A lot of problems here with the Aussie technically. Now, I still think that the Aussie's overall bullish. Everybody's on the I'm buying commodities train right now. So, Aussie's going to obviously find buyers on dips, but that doesn't mean that dip can't take us back to 75.50 either. So, support today will be at 77 cents, and then resistance is right back. I want to say back. Oh, no, grab the wrong thing. Probably back here. I would say we'd be pretty lucky to get back to 77.70. $0.77 of support. Oh, by the way, this is very important support for the bulls to hold. Kiwi, false breakout yesterday. We just broke through that 71.80 level. If you read the analysis from this morning on ForexAnalytix, break of 71.80 should take us back to these lows right over here, 71.30. So our next support, 71.30. And resistance now. Well, I mean, we should be capped right here. We should be, but I would say we could even make it back to 72.10, somewhere out there. 72.10, 72.15, maybe. I'll write that down. I just don't think we're going to make it back there. Not with stocks acting the way they're acting. I think that there's, higher probability at this point of heading back towards 71.30. Okay. Continuing on, dollar Canadian. Okay, so here's the dollar CAD. Bullish wedge, breakout, higher, resistance, all this. Not only the channel resistance, okay, it's 127.65, but all of this. 1 second, guys. Sorry, just give me 1 second, guys. Apple. Ooh, that actually, I put that on a long time ago. Ooh, shoot. Wow, this is Apple, guys. Watch if we break 129, because this uptrend line's from COVID, and we're opening below it. It's not good. I really want to be I want to be notified if we break through here. Now it's going to try to fill the gap because that's what stocks do. But yeah, Apple's walking a very fine line right now. Okay, back to the charts. So what was I talking about? Dollar Canadian. Oh yeah, 127.65. That is key. Break above that would turn us bullish, because that means we're above, like, you know, we are forging a higher low, you know, all that stuff. So support now should be pretty well supported at 127. Sorry, I'm just looking around really quick, because the equity market's just open. So I was just taking a quick look around. Dollar Swiss. Okay. So here's the dollar Swiss. Nice rally back overnight. I think yesterday we wrote that resistance would be back at 90. I don't think that's I think we should be pretty well supported right here intraday. So 89.40. Resistance 90.40. No, I don't think there's anything to do. With the Swissy right now. Nothing to really do there. US dollar, Norwegian krona. What a breakout. Okay, now this is important. Okay, that comes in right here, basically. And this is, I bet you this is about a 38%. We are at a 38%, just above it. So 50% retracement comes in at 55, that high. So I'm going to write down 855, and that's going to be really important. If this breaks, that would be pretty bullish. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. So dollar MEX. Now we are above. Now check this out. This is important. There's the daily chart, right? We are above that trend line again. Above that trend line again. We've had a hard time closing above it, because we closed above it one day. The next day we got slammed down. So where we close this week is going to be pretty important. Looks like resistance will be up here at 20.48. I would expect support now at 20 on dips at 20.20. Okay. Dollar yen. Now the dollar yen reversed from 127% extension, also a long-term 50% retracement. That is important to note. So 106 and a quarter. I think we wrote that down yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. 106 and a quarter. See how I had double asterisk? Guess what? It's a double asterisk again, because we obviously rejected it. 24 hours ago, we were here. Right? So we hit it, and now we double topped it. So a break below 105.80, that's bearish. So, and matter of fact, I should probably write just Yeah, 105.80. I'll even give it a, man, that's going to double top, guys. Damn. 106.25. So 106.25, that's super important. I don't even want to put it in bullish right now. I don't. I mean, I should. Damn it, I should. Okay. But let's just say if we break 105.80, because I'm going to write down all these numbers. So 105.80, that should take us to 105.40. Okay. Okay, you guys got that? Dollar index. All right, so okay, that was a bit of a squeeze. Looks like it's over for now. For those of you guys that are short dollars, you're probably like, thank God. Okay, so that was a 618, 91.03. So I'm gonna write that down. That should be good resistance, 91.03. That's good resistance because that's a 618, right? And we rejected it to the T. So we might get dips back down to 90.70 today. We should be probably pretty well supported down there. Okay. Oh, US dollar, Norwegian krone. I didn't finish my thoughts there. Okay, so obviously big resistance. Support now is at 848. Hold on really quick. Yeah, 848. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry. Okay. So I would even give it a little further. 845 should be pretty good support. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at silver. Sorry, guys. I gotta, I'm trying to trade and talk at the same time. So you guys understand that, right? It's like I'm talking, I'm trying to give you guys levels. Market just opened. I've got to also, try to trade too. So bear with me. Okay, here's silver. So I know, well, here's the problem. I keep getting notes from, traders are like, I'm very bullish silver. Silver is going to break out. It's, I keep hearing all these arguments about silver. I mean, if I'm looking at gold looks like it's going to roll over. Silver is going to have to follow. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't think that silver is eventually going higher. I agree with like most people. Silver is going to 50, but that doesn't mean we can't see 2022 first. You know what I mean? So, I would be really careful if silver broke back below 25.90. Resistance is going to be 28, and that's it. Okay. Nothing more I'd want than for silver to go to 50 again. Believe me. Did I say 20, 29? Oh, 28. Sorry. Basically 28. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, unbelievable, right? Could get a throw over. I'm going to write down 51.7. Support today should be right here. Intraday, that should be pretty good support, which would be 48,300. So 51,700, 48,300. And I can't believe I'm typing all of these numbers. It's all those zeros. It's just crazy. Okay. S&P. Let's just look at the S&P, and then we are finished. And I'll turn it over to Stelios and maybe Steve. I know Steve is dealing with some personal issues right now.
Why maybe?
He found out he is a woman. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that was a
sorry.
long
Hey,
time
Steve.
ago. I just took the decision to do something about it.
Are you going to actually have it removed now? Oh man.
It's so small nobody will understand the difference.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys know, we're talking about his soup bowl in his kitchen, so small that it's irrelevant, and that's all we're discussing right now. All right, so just kidding. I'm gonna let you go. I know Steve. I know Steve's he does have. He was dealing with some personal issues, and good to have you back, Steve. Support will be obviously. We're sliding into some support. There's going to be just a lot of support down here at 3870. You guys all know that. I mean, I don't think I need to go into much greater detail than it's bullish while we're above. How about that? I'll put a bunch of asterisks, which means that it's really, really, really important that bulls hold above there. But the move in yields, guys, that's a big deal right now. I know we've been talking about it for since Monday. Actually, since Monday when Boons broke down and yields started to rally in Europe, we started talking about it in the chat room, like, hey, you gotta watch out because if yields start to rally in the U.S., it's gonna be a problem, and we're seeing it, and stocks are not liking it. So, 3940 right now will be resistance. Okay, and so there's your bias chart. It is finished, guys, and Steve. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hopefully you got, and I was just telling everybody while you were on the phone earlier, I'm really excited. We're going to be bringing back the morning edge. So if you guys were listeners of my webinar previous to being with ForexAnalytix, previous to starting ForexAnalytix, I used to host the morning edge for the 10 years prior to that, 12 years prior to that. Alexander says, shouldn't the S&P change the range? No. While we're above this 3780 or 3870, did I type it correctly? 3870. No, we're still bullish, man.
I hope you do realize, Blake, what it means bringing back the morning edge, right?
Yeah. Well, hold on. The importance about the morning edge is not just the bias chart. It's not just doing the support and resistance levels and giving you guys a technical edge. It's also about, telling people what our thoughts are, and, things that, like I usually have something that's really eating at me that day.
All that is irrelevant. Bringing it back means that you're going to be singing the Smurf song, telling us about Blue Light Special.
Yep.
And praying to the Greek gods.
The Greek gods, yes.
Yes.
That's not you guys. That's not you guys, by the way. Just to clarify. So anyway, I'm excited about it. Steve and Stelios, it'll be nice to have them here, part of the morning edge every day. But more importantly, yeah, I'll be there for you. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're gonna be making formal announcements at the end of this month, but you guys don't have to do anything different. It's just it's more personalized for your experience, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So with that being said, Steve, I'm going to pass it over to you and Stelios. You guys, I'll see you on the daily roundup in just a few hours. Okay.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank to the Greek gods about the reversal being.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Ciao, mate. Bye bye.
So we have the couple of we didn't mention on phase 1 or phase now, as it's going to be called, and the morning edge will be phase 2. We have the FOMC minutes later today, and the talk.
I wonder what they're going to say.
That's the question. If there's any, the question is, are they going to mention yield curve control, and is this something, one more thing that the Fed will try to control and not leave to prop market forces? But if they do that, if they do mention it, I think a discussion about this in chat room. I think it's not good for the dollar, but the short-term kind of knee-jerk reaction to it, and I still think that
by the way,
the
you're
dollar,
lagging a little bit.
Yeah,
Just-
I got a
just
message
letting you
saying
know.
my connection is unstable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. I still think the dollar has a leg higher, and risk assets a leg lower. But I think in the long run, in the medium term, let's say if they talk about yield curve control, it's not going to be good for the dollar. That's for sure.
In my opinion, it's going to be like a bearish development for the markets. Because market participants by the year become even stupider, or at least they seem to be even stupider. Because in my opinion, Stelio, announcing, yield curve control is just going to be, in essence, confirming in a more, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? In a more professional way, in a more like formal way, what they've anyhow been doing. Because by buying all these trillions of bonds, aren't they in essence controlling the yield curve? Or should I remind you, you remember that we had the short period of time after QE2, which was or was it after QE3? I've lost count of them. You remember the twist?
Yes, I do.
I mean, what was twist? Twist was in essence yield curve control.
Duration.
Yeah. So yield curve control in essence, right?
So I guess it's going to be total yield curve control. Anyway, but it's just that they just can't afford anymore to let markets find their own balance without their big influence, which is very scary. And it's not just the Fed. So anyway, let's see. We're a few hours away. Let's see what they bring us. The other thing I want to mention very briefly is oil. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine this morning, quite lengthy one, about oil, and saying, what do you think about oil? I said, look, in the very, very long term, oil is going to be going close to zero because it's not going to be used as an energy source anymore. But that's beyond my lifetime, I think. It's decades away. In the short term, what's going to happen? Well, the usual thing that's been happening for decades and decades, when oil price goes low, production, by definition and by the automatic stabilizes, it goes down, so price gets supported. As price goes up, just like today, the Saudis said they're looking to increase production. They increase production to keep, and producers basically hedge their the future production. What is this range? I think it's something, below $30, $35 that becomes very difficult for a supply to be constant or to remain constant. And above, let's say, I would have said $65, $70. That's when it really starts increasing in terms of supply and all that. But they started a bit earlier.
Although, as I've said before, Stelio, I think we are actually going to see above these prices.
I agree.
In dollar terms.
I agree. Plus, you always have the black swan events, right? That can bring spikes.
Of course, absolutely.
Black swan events really are always upward spikes.
But by the way, for those that believe, for those that have drank the Kool-Aid and believe, like, they're looking at, they're like reading Elon Musk, Elon, as they like to, they call the name in American. They've really drank the Kool-Aid that we're just, going like electrical and like, renewables, full throttle. I just want to remind everybody how old is coal as an energy production material, and we still use it today.
Yeah.
So, Stelio, in my opinion, it's probably completely phasing out of oil. It's not even going to be in our kids' lifetime.
Yeah, it's highly likely, but it's definitely not in our lifetime. But it's something that's slowly happening, and I do think we will get black swan events go to 2 digits again at some point. But in the meantime, this is what's happening. But this channel is quite big, right? This range between, let's say, $30, $35 and $70.
Speaking of which, crude oil is attempting today, and in my opinion, if the indices, if the index bears manage to keep the indices under pressure today, I think we might see a very nice reversal candlestick from crude as well. Crude was higher on the day today at some point, so it produced a new high in prices we hadn't seen since January of 2020, and that was really briefly. And it's currently negative on the day. So, in my opinion, if today the bears manage to keep the indices under pressure and we have a negative day, I think it's also going to be the day, perhaps the combination of the announcement from the Saudis that you said, plus a risk of, if that's what we get, I think we might see a very interesting reversal candle in crude oil. So I think that might end up being a short-term high here that will start a well expected and long expected corrective move lower.
Yes, very, very
With the
likely.
emphasis being on the word corrective.
Corrective, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. Do we have any questions that we can look at? The usual platinum is first one.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I wanted to show was crude. So we extensively talked about it both from a fundamental perspective and technical perspective. Natural gas seems to also have stalled, but as I've said, I think it has broken out, so it's bullish above the channel, and 288 is the first area of support. Gold is attempting to actually produce that lower low we were talking about. It has pared back a little bit of its losses, half of its losses actually. Just a few minutes ago, it was at the lows of the day. Let's see. I still think it can produce a lower low, while silver probably won't. As you see, silver unchanged on the day and inside day. It's more than obvious that silver and platinum are overperforming. It's their time to shine. And I think there is a very, very high probability that silver is not going to produce a lower low, even if gold does. I think that for silver, this 2470 area is a very important area of support, which it might actually end up holding. For platinum, we've talked about it. I think 1170 is an area of support that's quite important. I think both of them will end up going a lot higher. Watch out for copper for the exact same reasons I mentioned about crude oil. If today we have a bearish day continuation from yesterday, I think that copper will finally have to succumb to the pressure and roll over, which it hasn't done for a long period of time. USDMXN, as I've been saying before, seems to be leading. It seems to be breaking out today. In that case, I would expect at least one more leg higher for a higher high towards 2085. As you see, is a very, very important area of resistance. So that is also something I'm paying attention to. Let's see if USD NOK can put here a double bottom and USD CAD can put like a quadruple bottom or whatever. In the case of USD CAD, I think the technical picture it's much cleaner here, because having to do with resistance, we have this channel which you have to pay attention to. Until we break out from this channel, I would be very, 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 very conservative in jumping the gun and saying, oh yeah, that's it. I mean, this is it. I mean, we found this 126.20 as a low. To be honest, something, you want to go long even here against 126 like 20, from a risk reward perspective, yeah, you're jumping the gun a little bit. From a risk reward perspective, I mean, it's not that you have to risk a lot. I mean, unless you leverage up or whatever. I mean, by leveraging up, you can even have like a very, very tight stop loss and still lose tons of money. But if you're not really over leveraging, I mean, yeah, you can even attempt to jump the gun. Personally, I would be looking for this channel to break before I jump the gun here. We're anyhow close to that. So, are we getting a reversal in the dollar and a reversal in the indices? Listen, as Blake said, sorry, the fact that we've reversed from resistance is important. But, I mean, just look at this chart, right? We haven't even produced a lower low yet, right? I mean, previous all-time high here was at 38.65. We haven't even broken through that. So yes, we might be reversing here. I hope, because it's a healthy, good thing to have two-way price action. But there's no technical confirmation yet. I mean, we have like a small indication that we might be reversing. I mean, the short-term time frame can be perhaps interpreted like this ascending wedge breaking to the downside, right? So this can be a potential like bearish interpretation in this case. But so far the price action, you can see it here. I mean, it's not like, you know, the floor has you know, dropped off and, you know, price is like, you know, getting destroyed. I mean, you know, far from that. So I'm watching this horizontal support area here, and until we break out from here, I would be, you know, I would be a little bit more cautious. As I said, I really hope we're going to see a reversal. It's very healthy to finally see some two-way price action. But let's see. The fact that we closed yesterday near the lows is a first step. But let's see if we're going to get follow through. Also, I'm you know, I'm staying here devoted on the cable because you know, I pay very much attention on how it's climbing higher within this channel. The cable is trying to produce an evening star formation, right? We had a white candle, a doji yesterday, and so far a black candle today. It's trying to put in an evening star formation reversal exactly on top of this trend line resistance. That will be a very bearish technical development, by the way, if we close you know, more or less as we see today or even lower. Now, the Aussie, you can see it here, and the Kiwi, you can see it here, have not yet broken down. I mean, if you just in isolation look at the Aussie and the Kiwi, somebody would assume that, you know, so far this looks like a bullish consolidation, and this conflicts a little bit with reversal potential, right? So I would want to see these formations also break to the downside. I think that would also give more credibility from the FX side, having to do with risk actually turning lower. So this is something else I'm also paying close attention to. Anyhow, that's it more or less what I was looking at. So let me now see what you're looking at, and you know, if you have any questions. Steve, can you look at BLDP and GIVO later, please? Yeah, when you give me tickers, please, if you can also write the full name of the company so I have an idea, that would help me. I'm going to have a look at them. Let me see the rest of the questions, and I'm definitely going to look at them. Ethereum, please also look if possible. Euro THB, yeah, absolutely. Steve, at what point do you think the market will start to seriously challenge the Fed? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's unpredictable, but there is one thing I know about it. When it happens, it's going to be a perfect storm, and it's going to happen very, very abruptly and fast. And events are going to unfold, you know, in a kind of a snowball effect. So when it finally happens, and I don't know what's going to be the trigger for that, I think the speed and the magnitude is going to be unprecedented, and things are going to take a twist that books will be written about it. So keep in mind, it's impossible to predict when, but when it happens, things are going to unfold in a cinematic way. Okay, let me check the Euro THB you said. Let's see. And then I'm going to start checking the rest of the tickers. So this is what we talked about the other day. Nothing yet, right? You can see this. This is some kind of a consolidation, but God knows what. It's really not beautiful price action here, you see. I mean, I don't know. We might even have a breakdown from here. I mean, if that's the case, you know, if this is a valid trend line, risk reward shows lower from here. So technically speaking, I think this is what you should be looking for. I mean, bullish above that, the red trend line, bearish as long as we stay below the blue trend line. That's what I think about it. Okay. And neutral in between. Here, but I'm looking for, yeah, absolutely. I see the questions here, Dimitri. Okay, so let's take all these tickers one by one. BLDP. Okay, so, oh my God, all this. So that was the easy long there, right? That was the easy long there. This was another easy long there. Now this looks very dangerous. Why? I'll tell you why. Because this looks to me like an ascending wedge with an overthrow that we've broken down from. So I think it looks very precarious. I mean, especially given this parabolic nature of these Ballard power systems, which I have no idea about the company. So, you know, no fundamental thesis here for me. I think it's in danger of, like, you know, collapsing from here. I would be very, very, very careful. Givo, let's see. I think the same thing here. Oh my God. 2011 up there. Look at this. I mean, it's a blip in the long-term chart, but it's a parabolic move in the short term, but suffers from the same problem that I see in many of these things lately. This looks to me like a terminal formation. Look at the RSI divergence as well. This is unsustainable. So I don't know if it can go higher, but even if it goes higher, I would be looking for something very sharp lower afterwards. So, you know, be very, very, very careful. Euroswiss. Look at this. I mean, this is not really a market, right? Now, purely from a technical perspective, A, triangle B, another move higher and lower. So a technical interpretation would say probably at some point one more leg missing to the upside before seeing lower prices. But we know, I mean, we know they openly say it. The S&P is like on top of this market on a daily basis. So who the hell knows? For the time being, the only sure thing is that this pair is coiling. Look at the RSI. Look at for how long the RSI has been trapped in the middle of the range, right? Without ever touching oversold or overbought conditions. So nothing to do here. But buying a breakout higher or a breakdown lower, you know, might make you some money. One of the few pairs you need to be leveraged up, because don't expect a massive move in any case, right? So this pair, don't expect like for it to break out and produce like a 200 pip move. I mean, it's extremely, extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. Okay.
Can I just say, Dimitri asked something and I answered on the chat. If you haven't
Absolutely,
seen it,
mate.
no, I answered already on the chat. But anyway, he asked about one of the silver ETFs that I use, PHAG, FAG, PHAG.
Let me see.
I like the PHAG. PHAG.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it because of the if you look in the details, their allocation of physical is quite strict compared to others like SLV, and you want that. And he's asking, where would you be buying? What would you be doing? And I said to him, look, I'm already long this. If I had no position, I'd be buying anywhere. Here, I'd be buying here. But for me, if we get anywhere near that 20 to 21 zone of support, I'm loading up, or I will be loading up quite a bit more. But it seems to have broken that, and I think we may get, it might come down as the dollar spikes if it does, but I think it's just going to be a massive buying opportunity.
If this is indeed the formation that looks like it points to 40, Stelio.
Yes, yeah. Yes, I got long when this was breaking. So that was what, 20?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks healthy.
Something. But as I said before, if you have no position, my view is I always want to be long this. So I'll buy some now, and then you add if it goes lower. That's the way I play it.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, it looks almost exactly like silver. I mean the chart, the formation.
Yeah. And this is one of those ETFs that can trade at a premium to where spot is. It depends on a lot of things, but it's basically one of the ETFs that tracks it quite well.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, so I think we covered all the questions, Stelio. Thank you, everybody, and as always, we'll be back here tomorrow.
Thanks,
Enjoy the rest of the day and take care and be careful, and let's hope we're actually getting a reversal. I mean, let's cross our fingers for some volatility finally, right, Stelio?
Yes, absolutely. The market kind of needs it.
Desperately, okay. I would add.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.